What up, what up? It's your boy Hammer, homie. And today we are reviewing, as a family, Dark Labs Maniaco. Is it worth it? If you like what I got to say about this hitter, you can pick it up at nutricartel. Use code HAMMER to save you some sweet cash. But hey, I might tell you it's the Snickle Fritz. So, if you haven't liked the video, like the video. If you haven't subscribed, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Alex Hammerstone. I got content coming out all the dang time for you. So click subscribe and let's get into it. Now, I don't know Dark Labs and they don't know YBH, but I do know GGH. But hey, I ain't here to shine no dang schlong, so we're going to break it down from the top. Dark Labs Maniaco. First, we got 10 grams of citrulline. That's for those pumps. That's for the vascular. That's for the gorilla look in the gym. We got 4 grams of tyrosine. That's going to get you focusing, dialed in, thinking about the weights, forgetting about your Tinder dates. 3,200 milligrams of beta-alanine. And I told Dark Labs, I said, you got to feel the betas to be an alpha. 400 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous. That's a stimulant. That's going to stimulate. Then you got 300 milligrams of 2-amino isoheptane. Now, is this that good? Is this that lab leak Wuhan lab leak hair? Or is this that English UK walnut juggling's trash DMHA? We're going to talk about it. 300 milligrams of Aridularis. That's that feel-good hitter, that head-high hitter. And 2 milligrams of Alpha-O. So where do we start? Well, we had a sour blueberry flavor, and I would say it was about 27% sour, 17% blue, and 50% berry. So I took the drink. I went down to the dance floor. It was time to pump some iron. It was time to get down to business, lifting dang weights. And this is what I gotta say about it. Well, I started lifting weights. I started pumping iron. I started feeling good. I was into the workout. And Gemma, get inside. What are you doing out there? Okay, I think that's about all the GGA jokes and references I got for the video. But real talk, what we're talking about, Dark Labs Maniaco. I broke down the formula for it, but how did it come together in the real world for your boy Hammer? If anyone didn't get the bit, that's for GGH. GGH helped design this formula. GGH, one of the top supplement reviewers in the world. You'd think he knows a little thing or two about putting together a formula. And I think he did. I think this formula came together quite nicely. Obviously, it's not a laundry list of ingredients, but it came together great. I took this morning, and yesterday I had a terrible workout. I had a terrible experience. I took Starlight's Euphoria, and for whatever reason, whether it was the pre-workout, whether it was bad sleep, whether it was me being a little bit sick, I don't know what it was, but all that came together, and I had one of the worst workout experiences of my life. I actually left the workout early. First time I've done that in probably a year. And I have a rule about hitting the high stim illicit hitters. I usually do that twice a week, separated by a couple days. But I'm about to leave for France for a wrestling trip. I'm not going to have any stims for probably 4 days. I'm going to go on a little stim break. So I let myself break the rule today and go back-to-back days, and I decided to run Maniaco. Now, that being said, I expected, because of running an illicit yesterday, that this was not going to hit very well today. And boy, was I freaking wrong. Within 30 minutes, I was feeling good. I was feeling positive. I was feeling the head buzz, the head high, and I was feeling ready to freaking lift. And I got in the gym, and it just kept climbing and climbing and climbing. For like the first hour, it just freaking climbed, and then it leveled out, and it didn't drop off. And I'm freaking 2.5 hours, 3 hours since I took the drink. I had a 2.5 hour workout. I drove home. I'm making the review. I still feel good. My head is still freaking buzzing, and I feel freaking incredible. You know, can I say there's no crash? Well, I don't know yet. But all I know is the energy freaking lasted. The head buzz freaking lasted. The mood elevation freaking lasted, and we're still here right now reaping the benefits of it. In the gym, this was the perfect balance of happiness and like buzz, like positive buzz where you feel good, but also with the kick and aggression where you want to tear up the weights. Like I was feeling good and positive. You know, I was texting my girlfriend a nice message, hey, I love you, babe, because I just felt good. But then when it was time to lift and hit the sets, I was a freaking animal. The pumps were fantastic. The focus was freaking fantastic. It wasn't like some crazy out of this world focus, but I think like it wasn't a focus in some crazy illicit sense, but I think it was like because of like the mood elevation with the sense of urgency from the Alpha and the Tyrosine to give you just enough like dialed in, you know, that dialed in feeling, like all those things come together that when you're hitting your sets, you are just locked in, freaking locked in. And then when you're done in between sets, you just feel good. And you're like, oh, I'm ready to do it all over again. This Alpha it was like, this was the best you could get from Alpha where it freaking gave you a sense of urgency and a sense of aggression, but literally no like heart attack energy, no getting out of breath. Like this freaking came together so perfectly for me today, where I was nailing my sets, not freaking gassing out, not feeling fatigued, not feeling like I had to take a freaking long break in between sets. I just felt freaking good. I felt so freaking good on this. This might be my favorite Dark Labs product I've tried yet. This was all the freaking head high and buzz that I got from Crack Halloween, but with more sense of urgency, more aggression, and probably a little bit more feeling of focus. I think it's because, like I said, when you have aggression and like sense of urgency coupled with like a mood elevation and like head high, those come together to create this focus that really just gives you the perfect workout. I don't know if I have a bad thing to say about this pre-workout. It covers your pumps, it covers your focus, it covers, you know, that buzz that you want to get from a high stim pre-workout. Obviously, I think the only thing bad about it that I can say is that, you know, it does have 300 milligrams of DMHA. So this is not one I would take more than once or twice a week. This is a twice a week hitter for in my opinion. If you want to push your DMHA hitter to every other day, that's up to you. That's your business. You can do whatever you want to do. But I freaking loved this. This was incredible. I would say so far this year, this is probably a top 10 hitter for me. Maybe even higher than that. Like I said, ranking it amongst Dark Labs products, I think I got to put this, you know, I think this is one of my favorites, man. This might be my favorite Dark Labs product I've used thus far. And that seems to be the consensus with a lot of people. Obviously, I haven't got to all of them yet. You know, Crack Halloween was a really awesome experience, but it lacked that aggression and the sense of urgency that this had. Crack Barbarian was very aggressive, but it kind of didn't get that same mood elevation and buzz that this got. So it's like you're trading off with everything. That's another thing I want to talk about real quick. You know, people look at the Dark Labs line, and I'm not here to freaking put them over and tell you they're the best brand in the world, but everyone looks at these formulas and they notice a couple subtle differences and say, oh, all these things are the same. They just changed this, that. It's all the same. This one just has a little bit more caffeine. This one has, it's like, well, yeah, all pre-workouts are going to utilize the same group of ingredients, but you got to think that people at the company, you know, test these things and try to formulate them in a way where each product has its own personality and its own character. And that's what I've really found with the line so far. Each product definitely hits in its own unique way. And you kind of, as you're using them, you realize like, okay, I would utilize this when I want this type of workout versus this type of workout. And they all do hit a little bit differently. Maniaco, though, it really checks a lot of the boxes that I want out of a pre-workout. I'm not saying this just to shine the brand. I'm not saying this just to get on the good side of my boy GGH, but this was a fantastic freaking product. Realistically, getting back to the sour blueberry taste, it wasn't bad by any means, but it was not fantastic either. You know, this was not one one of those ones I'd be drinking and, oh man, this is so good. I thought Crack Barbarian tasted better. I thought Primal tasted better. You know, that being said, it wasn't bad by any means. I was not choking it down. Like Hero Lean, for example, the flavor was good, but the burn of like the fat burner ingredients was very apparent on the back end. This didn't have anything super weird, super chemically or synthetic. It was an okay flavor. And then the experience on this was freaking phenomenal. And especially considering that I ran back-to-back high stims, and usually I don't do that, but even if I ran only like one buffer day in between, I usually notice a diminished return. And they don't hit as good, but this hit so freaking good. I trained fasted today too, which I don't usually do, and the power was just still there. The performance was still there. This was a phenomenal pre-workout, and this is one 100% stay in the rotation. Your boy Hammer will not be letting this go. That's all I got to say for you today. I think that's all I got for you. So like the video, subscribe, click all the buttons, do all the things. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Alex Hammerstone. Share the video with a friend if you don't mind. I appreciate you guys being part of the channel. This whole supplement reviewing stuff is really growing into something that I'm really enjoying. So if there's something you want to see me review next, comment down below. Let me know what you want. I'm trying to make my way through all the freaking hitter pre-workouts, all the ones that people want to see. I appreciate you guys watching. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next supplement review.